Welcome to the Roulette Master TV, where we go back in time to reveal unbelievable roulette systems of the past. Today's system is genius new roulette system. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. I think you're going to really enjoy this. Let's get started. This is the Roulette Master, and I am so excited today because one of my subscribers has created a roulette system unlike anything I have ever seen before, and it looks unbelievable. This is the Depth Charge Digger by Todd Hoover, and let's just jump right in and get started. And I can't wait to share with you how this system is different than anything you've ever seen before and is amazing. So we're going to start with these bets right here on some corner bets once it spins here. And then I'll share with you everything that you need to know about this one and how the progression works. And let's go ahead and place the bets. So here we go, just like that. And that's a $6 bet. Let's go ahead and spin. And this is a really cool system. Let's see what we get here, and I'll show you what to do next. That's a 36 red. Okay, we lost. And on this one, we go up 1 unit if you lose. But that's just a very small part of this one. And let's spin again here. So we went from $1 to $2 on all those bets. Okay, that's a win. So what you do with a win, you can see we're back to where we started, and that was a win on a 15. So we're going to take that bet out, and you can see it had $2 on it. So what we're going to do is now we're going to place two split bets right there at $2 each. So now we're going to go ahead and just spin again at $14 total bet. All right, so basically that corner bet turned into two split bets, and it doubled the amount we were betting because the same amount that was on there went on each split. We lost that one. So when you lose, you just increase by 1 unit on everything. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I'll share with you what is the reset and what makes you tons of profit with this system. There's a couple different levels here, and it's really fun to play. That's an 18 red. Okay, that's a win. Okay, so we won on one of the splits. That's a $33 win. We're up $19. So that was on the 17-18 split. So here's what happens next. We see how much was on there, and it was $3. So now we put $3 on those two numbers individually. So now we went from a $3 bet on that split to $3 on each of those individual numbers. And now we're at a $24 total bet. The goal before resetting with this system is to hit one of those single numbers. But there's going to be a lot more of them here pretty soon. So that's a loss there. Let's go ahead and increase. So all these numbers are going to increase by $1. This is the Depth Charge Digger by Todd Hoover. We increased them all by $1. Let's go ahead and spin again and see what we get here. All right, so that's a 1 red. Okay, that's a $4 win. You can see we're currently minus $1, but that's because we haven't hit our main goal yet. We're going to go ahead and take that bet out, and you can see it was at $4. So that means we put $4 on two splits instead of $4 on the corner. So now we have a $36 total bet, and let's go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 12 red. Okay, we hit a win there, and let's go ahead and we're going to take that corner bet. Let's see how much was on it. It was at $4, and now we're going to have two split bets at $4 each. So basically whatever's on the corner goes on each split bet, and if you hit a split bet, the amount that you have goes on each individual number. And once we hit one of those individual numbers, it's going to pay huge. So let's go ahead and spin, and this is a $40 total bet with the Depth Charge Digger by Todd, and that's a 23 red. Okay, we hit another one of the corners. So we're going to go ahead and adjust that one now. So we had, let's see, we had 4. Let me make sure that's right. Yeah, they were 4. It was at 4. So I'll put that back on this one here. I was just checking. And we're going to take that one out that just hit, which was at 4, and then that puts $4 on each of those split bets. Okay, now we're at a $44 total bet. And again, the goal of this system is to eventually hit one of the numbers that is on its own. That's a 2 black. Okay, now that's a $28 win. We're up $23. Now we're going to go to that 1-2 bet there and see what was on it. Okay, and it was at 4. So now we're going to have two $4 bets, one on each number. And again, the goal of this system is to hit one of those individual numbers, and we can be patient, use our bankroll to our advantage until that happens. That's a 28 black. Okay, we lost that one. So anytime you lose, it's real simple. Everything just goes up by $1. It doesn't matter how much is on each individual one. They always just all go up by $1. That makes it really simple. Okay, now we're at a $60 total bet, and let's go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 6 black, and that's a loss. So everything goes up by $1. Let's go ahead and increase everything. And the great thing is, as long as you have the bankroll, which we'll go over here shortly, you can be patient until you hit one of those numbers. So now we're at a $72 total bet. We added $1 to each because we lost. Let's see what we get here. And that's a 16 red. We lost again. Let's go up another $1 on everything. So let's go ahead and do that now. And here we go. 7, 7. All these are at 7, it looks like. It's just some of them are split bets, some of them are individual bets, and some of them are corner bets. And we're at minus 157 because we haven't hit our primary goal yet. Let's go ahead and spin. That's a 31 black. And that's a hit on the corner bet. Let's go ahead and adjust that one. So it was at 7. So now we're going to put 2 split bets at 7 each. Here we go. Okay, now we're at a $91 total bet. And we're just being patient till this thing hits. That's a 10 black. Okay, we lost again. So we're going to increase everything by $1. Real simple. Everything's going to 8 now. And again, some are individual bets, some are split bets, and some are corners. But we're starting to get rid of almost all the corners. So once we get some hits here, they should pay a lot more than what we've been seeing recently. So that's a 7 red. We lost again. We're going to have to increase again. So we're going to go to $9 on everything. And that's a lot of losses for this many numbers covered, but it happens sometimes. And let's see how this responds. We're at 117 total bet now, and then we'll check our balance here in a second. Okay, that's a 2 black. That should be a win. And we got it. That's a $207 win. And he says if you're not in session profit, when you hit an individual number, what you do is you go ahead and you take that number out. Just like that. And then spin again. Now we're at 108 total bet. But he says 90% of the time when you hit the single number, you're going to be in profit. But we've had so many losses, we have to follow the next rule, which is to take it out. Okay. Now we're at minus 112. Let's see what we hit. So we hit this one right here, the 8-9 split, which had $9 on it. So now we're going to have $9 on each of those numbers. Okay, now we're at 117 total bet, and let's spin. Okay, that's a 34 red. Okay, that's a $45 win. You can see we're still not in profit, so we're going to go ahead and adjust that one. And let's see, we're going to take that 34.35 out, which had $9 on it. And now we're going to put $9 on each number. Just like that. And spin. 126 total bet now, and let's spin. That's an 8 black. All right, we hit another one of those single numbers. We're at $131 profit, so we restart. All right, so usually when you hit one of those, you restart immediately. The only reason we didn't the first time is because we're not in session profit, and the rule on that is that if that happens, you just take that bet out and spin again. So now we're back to a $6 bet again, back at the beginning, and that was a really nice recovery. And here we go, and that's a 28 black. Okay, and that's a $6 loss. We're going to go ahead and go from $1 to $2 on all those bets and spin. But I'm glad we had so many problems at the beginning so that you could see the entire process of what happens when you go into full recovery. That's a $6 win there. We're up 131. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the 19, which had $2 on it, and then now we have 2 split bets instead of one corner bet with 2. Now we have 2 splits with 2 each. Okay, now we're at $14 total bet, and let's spin. Let's see if we can go through that process again, and that's a 12 red. That's a $4 win. So we're going to go ahead now, and we're going to adjust that, and it was at $2. So now we have 2 splits at $2 each, and let's go ahead and spin again here. And again, most of the time, almost all the time, if you hit the single number, you're going to be in session profit. There's a $20 win. We're up 155. So let's go ahead now and we're going to take this out. It was at 2 each, and now it's going to be $2 on each number. And remember, when you hit a single number, that's when you can almost always reset, unless you've had a million losses like we did before. And then then what you do is you take that single number out and just rebet and spin. So now let's see, we're going to take out the 8 and 9 split that has $2 on it, and then that turns into two $2 bets on single numbers. And let's go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 13 black. And that's a loss, so everything goes up by $1. Let's go ahead and do that. So now they're all going to $3, but some cover more numbers than others. Some are single numbers, some are splits, and some are corner bets still. And we're at $30 total bet. Let's go ahead and spin. Okay, that's a 27 red. Okay, that's a hit, but we lost a little bit, but you still go forward with the process. And that had $3 on it. So now we have 2 splits at $3 each. And let's go ahead and spin. So sometimes you have a small loss, but you still win. And when you do that, you just go to the next step in the process. That's a $21 win there. Okay, let's see what we hit. That was the 23. So we're going to take that $3 out. And then we put $3 on each individual number. And again, most of the time, the way you reset with this system is hitting a single number, and that's a 4 black. Okay, we hit that one, but that was a $9 loss, so let's go ahead and make the adjustment. And it was at 3, so now we're going to have 2 splits at $3 each, and let's spin. And you're just being patient until you hit that single number. And again, now let's talk about bankroll, because that's really important. But we lost that, so let's first place those bets. Okay. Here we go. Okay, now we're at $52 total bet. And what I would recommend on this one is a $1,000 bankroll. Obviously, if you use $2,000, it's safer, but you have more to risk. So we won that one. Let's go ahead now, and we're going to take out that 1, 2. It was at 4, so now we're going to have 2 individual $4 bets instead of 4 on a split. So it basically doubles the bet. Now we're at $56 total bet, but it only does it on those numbers, not on everything else. That's a 21 red. Okay, we lost, so let's go ahead and add $1 to each. And anytime you have a larger bankroll with roulette, as long as you're playing a smart strategy, it's going to increase your chances of winning, but it does also increase the amount that you could lose. So remember that, and never play with money that you can't afford to lose. But a large bankroll and small starting bets is one of the big keys to winning consistently. Okay, that's a $20 win. Let's see what we hit. We're up $107, and we're going to take that 4-5 that had $5 on it, and now we're going to have 5 on each. And remember, the goal for resetting is to hit a single number. Let's see if we can do that. Here we go. And obviously, the further you go along in the process, the more single numbers are out there. But we hit that corner bet, so we need to make that adjustment now. And it was at 5, so now we're going to have 2 splits at $5 each. And spin. This is an $80 total bet now. And here we go. Let's see if we can get one of those numbers, and that's a 33 black. But we had a complete miss there, so we're going to go ahead and add $1 to everything. 6, 6, 6, 6. Not 666. It's just these are all going to $6. And here we go. All right. Okay, now we're at $96 total bet. I really like how it's so simple. Anytime you lose, completely lose, you always just add 1 to everything. And that's another total loss. Ouch. Okay, so you're going to get to see the recovery process again here. Now we're going to 7 on everything. Again, some are single number bets, some are corners, some are splits. All right. And we're trying to hit one of those single numbers over there. It looks like we have a bunch of them in the first 12 there, and that's a 34 red. Okay, that's a split. So what we're going to do now is we're going to adjust that one. And now it had 7 each. So now we're going to have 7 on each number. So basically the bet on those two numbers doubles, but Let's go ahead and spin. It creates 2 more opportunities for us to reset. Okay, that's a 5 red. Okay, we hit a single number. Now we're up $48, but we're not in session profit. So again, when that happens, what you do is you take that number completely out, and then you just spin again. Okay, so now we're at 112 total bet. And again, that happens if you have a bunch of total losses, which we had again that time. That's a 35 black. But I'm just really glad, and we hit one again there. So now we're up $188, and we can cash out. But remember, most of the time, if you hit the single number, you're going to be in new session profit, and you can cash out. So you can see where the bets were there. And the farther you get along, you have a lot more opportunities to hit those. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, let's see, 8, 9, 10, 11 chances there. So we ended up having a better chance. The further you go along, the better chance you have of hitting one of those single numbers, because the amount of them that are available to hit increases. But let me know what you think of this new system by Todd Hoover, because it's unlike anything I've ever seen before, and I think it's really cool. But test it out and let me know how you do. And that's what this channel is all about, is testing new systems, trying to find the best roulette system ever. And I love doing that every single day. I hope you guys do as well. And coming up here, we have another incredible system that's trending on YouTube. If you want to stick around, I would love to share that with you. And let's just jump right into it. Here we go. Thanks for sticking around. I think you're going to absolutely love this incredible roulette system that's trending on YouTube right now. This is where a Baccarat genius shares his strategy in Baccarat that also works in roulette to make a living every single day. And I can't wait to share this with you. Let's just jump right in and get started. Here we go. This is the Roulette Master, and I have an unbelievable story and strategy to share with you today. One of my subscribers, White Owl, who says he's a professional Baccarat player, says that you can use his system to play roulette, and he makes a living doing this. So this is going to be awesome. We're going to put his system, which is called the Ultimate Weapon, up against another system that's doing amazing on the channel right now, which is 3 up 24 numbers. We're going to start with that first, and then we're going to get to the Ultimate Weapon by the White Owl, and here we go. We're going to start with a $10 bet on the second and third 12. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. This should be a great matchup, and I can't wait to see how he's making a living playing Baccarat. And he says, again, this can be used in roulette. It's the same philosophy. So that's a win, and we're up $10. So with this one, we're going to leave out the dozen that hit last, and let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. Okay, that's a 28 black. And that's another win. So now we're up $20, and now we'll leave out the third dozen that just hit and spin. And boy, this one's been doing great on the channel lately. Let's see if it continues today. And then I can't wait to introduce to you to the new system of the day from the White Owl. And that's another win there. We're currently up $30. We'll leave out the second dozen now. And here we go. And that is a 15 black. That's a loss. So we're going to go up 3 units from 10 to 40. And let's go ahead and do that now. So a lot of people play 24 numbers by tripling the bet when they lose. Some of them go up 1 unit when they lose. This is a perfect balance by going 3 up. And I'm going to show you that as we go through here. That's a nice $40 win. We're up $50. And now we'll be on second and third dozen. Let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's a 4 black. Okay, and that's a loss. So we're going to go from 10 to 40, and we're going to go up 3 units. So let's go ahead and do that. And spin. Now we have an $80 total bet, and I've been doing really well with this one also. And that's a 34 red. Another fantastic win. We're up $70. And if you can go back and forth between 10 and 40 a bunch, you're going to make so much profit. It's going to be awesome. And here we go again. That is a 23 red. And that's another win. We'll take it. We're up $80 already. And boy, you can make a lot of money in a hurry with this one. And again, this is a nice combination of 1 up, which a lot of people use with 24 numbers, and then tripling the bet. It's nice. And in the middle, and seems to be working better than both of those. So We're up 90 now, and we're going to be on second and third dozen. Let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. All right. That is a 7 red. And we lost. So we're going to go from 10 to 40 again, up 3 units. And spin. That's an $80 total bet. And man, am I excited about this new system from the White Owl. Again, he says he makes a living playing Baccarat with this same strategy that you can use in roulette. So this is going to be so exciting with that coming up next. And this one here is already up $110 in a very short amount of time. Let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. Again, this one, 3 up on 24 numbers, has been doing incredible on the channel lately. And the ones that are doing great, I'm putting up against these new systems. Okay, that's a loss. We're going to go from 10 to 40. And spin, here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. That is a 00, so that's definitely a loss. So we're going to go from 40 now. We're going to go up to 70. So we'll go 50, 60, 70. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we have 70 each, 140 total. And let's spin. That's a 34 red. Okay, that's a win. We're up $80. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to stay right there. So let's go ahead now, though, and we're at 70 each. We're going to be on first and second 12 now. All right, let's go ahead and spin, and let's establish some new profit here. And that's a 0, so we lost, but that's okay, because now we're just going to go from 70 up 3 more units. So let's go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is why we have a $2,000 bankroll with this one, and we're at 100 each, 200 total. So bankroll is really important. If that's too much for you, that's perfectly fine. All you have to do is use dollar units instead of $10 units and change the $2,000 bankroll to a $200 bankroll. So anybody can do that. We're minus 260 right now. We're going to go up 3 more units. And this is about the worst thing that can happen, but we have the bankroll to tackle this and come back. And here we go. That's a 14 red, and we won. So we're going to stay right where we're at. We're minus 130. We're at 130 each. So even though it's been really rough here, if we win this one, we're back to 0. And that's a 19 red, and we won. So all right, so now we're going to, let's go. We're going to still be at 130. We're going to be on first and third. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're at 260 total still, and we're going to try to establish new session profit here. And that's a 20 black, and we lost that one, so we're going to have to go up 3 more units again. We're minus 260. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're at 320 total bet. Again, this is why you need a $2,000 bankroll for $10 units or a $200 bankroll for dollar units. And that's a win right there at 160. We're minus 100 right now. And now you can see we were at 160 each. We're going to be on second and third for 160 each. Here we go. And let's spin. Let's get it back here and start making some money. All right, we got it. That's a 16 red. Okay, we're up 60. And we're just going to bet that again now, 160 each, and we'll be on first and third. All right, let's go ahead and spin. If we get this one, we'll be a new session profit. And we got it. So it's time to go back to the starting bet again of $10, and now we're up $220. So we'll be on second and third now. And there is a safer way of them playing it than what I just did there. One thing you can do if you choose to with this system is to bet the amount that you are away from session profit. So instead of betting 160 there, we could have reduced that to whatever took us to profit, and keep that in mind as we go through here. So, all right, we're up $200. We're going to go from 10 to 40. Let's go ahead and do that. Here we go. All right, we're at 40 each, 80 total. Let's see what we get, and that's a 00, so that's not a win. We're going to go up by 3 units. So here we go again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're at 140 total bet, and let's spin. That's a 9 red. and we lost again. So you can see that we're already back to minus 20. And let's go ahead now and go up 3 units again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 100 each. Second and third dozens are covered. Let's get a win. All right, that's a win on 22 black. Fantastic. So now we'll stay right where we're at. And we're going to be at 100 each on first and third. Here we go. And let's hope that that one doesn't repeat and we hit first or third dozen. And we did. That's a 3 red. That's fantastic. So, all right, now we're up 180, and that's close enough to session profit. Anytime the bets get big, if you're close to session profit, restart. So we're going to be on second and third dozen now, and we'll leave out the first dozen that just hit there. And let's get back on track and start making some more money. That's an 18 red. That's a win. All right, we're up 190. And this system can really make you money if it goes back and forth between 10 and 40. And then it goes, you lose at 10, you win at 40, then you lose at 10, win at 40. That can be awesome as well. We're up $200 now. And that's why you don't want to risk it all when you're close to session profit. Because with a system like this, you're going to get it right back anyway. There's no reason to place another really high bet. And that's another win. We're up 210. All right, so if you ever get in with really high bets, if you get anywhere near session profit, reset, because you know you're going to make some money back quickly, and then you wouldn't take that massive risk. So that's another win. We're up 220. Let's go on first and third now. Man, I can't wait to get to this new system of the day. Thinking about how the White Elf says he does this for a living, playing Baccarat, and he says it's the same thing for Roulette. This is going to be exciting coming up here. We're up 230. And we're on second and third dozens for 10 each. And here we go. Let's see what we get on this one. That's a 19 red. That's a win. So we're up $240. We'll be on first and third dozens now. And we're leaving out that second dozen that just hit. Here we go. Ooh, that's a loss on 0. So let's go up 3 units. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're at 40 each, 80 total. And we're 10 minutes in out of 15 with this one. And let's see how it finishes up. And then we'll get to the new system of the day, which I know you're really excited about. That is another win at 40. And anytime you win at 40, you know it's session profit. We're up to 60. So you don't even have to look. If you can win at 40, you know it's good. And that's awesome. So that's a 6 black. All right, so we're up to 70, and we'll be on second and third dozens. And you can see how fast this builds back up. That's why it's not worth it to take unnecessary risks. That's also why I was telling you it is much safer when you're playing this. And I'll probably do it on the next time we get in trouble. We're going to go from 10 to 40 here first. That it's smart when it's just to try to get back to session profit. When you get to that final bet, if it takes you way over session profit, reduce it a little bit in case you don't win it. And that's a much safer way of playing. So we're up 290. We won at 40 again, so we know we're in session profit. And let's go ahead and spin on first and third dozen here with 3 up, 24 numbers, and that's a 19 red. Okay, so we lost that one. We're going to go from 10 to 40. Let me fix that bet there. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. 40 each, 80 total. All right, let's see what we get here. And that's an 18 red, and I believe that is a loss, and it is. So we're going to have to go up again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 70 each, 140 total, and here we go. All right, that's a 21 red, and that's another loss. So we're going to go up 3 units again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and here we go. We're at 100 each, 200 total. Now, that's why we have the $2,000 bankroll for $10 units, or you can play with dollar units and a $200 bankroll. Don't forget that for the low rollers out there. Anybody can play this. We're up 150. We're going to do this $100 bet again because we're not near session profit. So we're going to be on second and third dozen now for 100 each. All right, here we go. See a high number. And there we go. That's a 30 red. It's a $100 win. We're back up to 50. That's close enough to reset. So we're going to be on first and second dozen again. You know, be smart. Anytime you have a chance to reset, do it, because you're going to build it back quickly anyway. And that's another win. So we're up 260. Protect that bankroll. Now we'll be on second and third dozen for 10 each. And here we go. This is 3 up 24 number. Coming up, the new system from White Owl looks incredible. I can't wait to share that with you. We're up 270. We'll be on first and third. And I'm excited because he says he makes a living doing it on Baccarat, and he says it's the same principle for Roulette. So, man, that's exciting. It's coming up. And we're up 280. We'll be on first and second dozen. Let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. That's a 34 red. That's a loss. So we're going to go from 10 to 40. But I tell you what, it's nice when you get the wins at 40 because the profit comes really quickly. And we got another one right there. That's a 17 black. That's how it comes back so fast. We're already up $300 again. So we'll be on first and third dozen now. And this one's just been doing great lately. And we're going to keep testing these systems that do great up against the new systems of the day. And I really enjoy that. So let's go ahead now, and we'll be on second and third. First dozen just hit, and here we go. Got about a minute left with this one, and then we're off to the new system of the day. And all right, that's a $10 win there, and we're up 320. So we'll be on first and second dozen now. And here we go. All right, let's see what we get. That's a 26 black. That is a loss, but again, it's a good opportunity to win at 40. Sometimes you can make more money when you lose the first spin, because if you win at 40, it just adds up quickly. And we won again, so that's awesome. And if you can lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, you're going to make a lot of money. We're up $340 now. We'll be on second and third dozen, and here we go. All right, that is a 36 red. And that's another win, and we just ran out of time. So we made $350 profit with this incredible 3-up 24 number system. And we're going to keep testing this one up against the new systems here and there. And that's what I've been doing is, you know, finding the ones that work out really well and testing them against the new systems of the day. And we have an incredible one coming up here from White Owl. And man, this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it and get started. All right, I cannot wait to introduce to you the new ultimate weapon from the White Owl. He says he makes a living playing this strategy, playing Baccarat, and he says it also works playing Roulette. This is going to be incredible. Let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start out by betting on the color that hit last, which is red, for $10. And I know that's a simple way to start, but there's a lot more to this one. And once we have some losses, I'm going to show you what the real secret of this system is. And here we go. So we're going to stay on red, and we're going to go from 10 to 20. Let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. All right, let's see what we get here. That's a 12 red. Okay, we got the win. We're going to go back to 10, and we're going to be on red again. And here we go. That's all going to change when certain triggers happen. And there's a lot that you need to know with this one, so make sure you watch the whole system if you want to win for a living like he said he's doing. That is incredible. So we're going to be on red again for 20. Let's go ahead and spin. And we count our losses with this one. That's one loss on black. Okay, that's two losses on black, but now we're going to go to 30. Let's go ahead and do that. And if we get 3 losses in a row on black, the bet's going to change. But it did not yet. I'll share that with you once we get 3 in a row. So now we go from 30 back to 20, and we'll be on red. You can see we're up 10 right now. There's also going to be a re-trigger point for profit, which I'm going to share with you coming up as well. And that's a 14 red. Okay, we won. We're going to go from 20 back to 10, and we're on red. We're up $30 right now. And here we go. And we're getting close to that one of those things that you need to know right now. And I'll share that with you as we go through. And we're going to go from 10 back to 20. And we're going to be on red. So that's one loss on black. Keep track of that. Here we go. That is a 33 black. That's 2 losses on black. So we're going to go to a $30 bet now, and we're on red. If we lose this one on black, we're going to switch up the bet. And we did. So now, if you get 3 of the opposite color in a row, you're still going to go up a unit from 30 to 40. But now we're going to switch to black. And here we go. All right, and we got the win. Fantastic. So now we're on black instead of red, and we're going to go from 40 to 30. Let's go ahead and spin, and here we go. That's a 29 black, and that's a win. Okay, and we're up 40. We're getting close to another trigger, which I'm going to share with you here in a second. And we're going to go from 30 to 20. We're going back a unit when we get wins. But there's so much more to this one. Make sure you watch the whole video on this one. This is exciting. That is a loss. So that's 1 loss on red. We go from 20 to 30. And again, I need to share with you the reset point, which we almost got to. And here we go. That's a 20 black. Okay, that's a win. So we go from 30 to 20. We're still on black. Oh, and we just hit our first reset point. So if you hit $50 in profit, you always go back to 10. So let's do that. We're still on black, and let's spin. So when we get to $100 profit now, we will reset back to 10 again. But again, a lot more to it. We're going to talk about it as we go through here. That's our first loss on red, so we stay on black, and we go from 10 to 20. All right, here we go. That is a 12 red. That's our second loss. So we're going to go to 30. If we lose 3 in a row on red here, we're going to switch to red. Okay, and we did. So we switched to red and go up another unit. So we go from 30 to 40, and now we're on red. And now we're on red until we get 3 losses in a row. And we got the win. That's a 5 red. Okay, so now we go from 40 to 30. Now we've switched to red. And again, we're not going to reset until we get to $100 profit now, because we were at 50, and that's a 3 red. Okay, that's a $30 win. Now we're going to go to 20. Now we're up $60, and we're staying on red until we get 3 losses in a row. And here we go. That's 1 loss right there. So we go from 20 to 30. And we go up a unit when we lose. And once you have 3 losses in a row, you switch colors. Okay, that's a 28 black. Okay, that's 2 losses in a row. We're keeping track of that. We go up a unit. Now we're at 40. And here we go. Okay, that's a 1 red. Okay, and that ends the losing streak. So we stay on red, and we go back to 30. All right, now it would take 3 more losses in a row to switch colors. And that's a 13 black. That's 1 loss. Okay, so we go to 40 on red. Here we go. Let's see if we get our second loss or if we get a win here. That's a 0. That's our second loss. So we go from 40 to 50. And if we lose 3 in a row, but while betting on red, we're going to switch to black. And we did lose 3 in a row, so we're going to switch to black. So now we're going to go from 50 to 60. And we're at minus $70 right now. Let's go ahead and spend. Now we need to get this going again. Here we go. Okay, we got a win on 2 black. Fantastic. So now we're on black, and we're going to go from 60 to 50. So we're going back a unit when we win. We're going up a unit when we lose. And it takes 3 losses in a row to switch colors. That's a 26 black, and that's a win. So we go to 40. And we're up $40. Let's go ahead and spend. Remember, we have a $100 reset point now. And here we go. That's a 25 red. And that's because we already hit the $50 reset. So the 100 would be the next one. And we're going to go from 40 to 50 on black. We have 1 loss on red. We're going to keep track of those. Let's see if we get another loss here. And we did. So that's 2 losses. So that means if we get 1 more loss, we switch to red. But we're going to go from 50 to 60. And spend. Here we go. And that's another loss. We've had a bunch of zeros. So that's not good. And now you can see we lost on the 25, the 12, and the 0. So we're going to go to red now, but we're going to go from 60 to 70. All right, let's go ahead and spin. And here we go. All right, that's a win, 27 red. So now we're on red until we have 3 consecutive losses. So now we're going to be at 60, back a unit on red. And we're 7 minutes in out of 15. We've had a little bit of a rough ride so far, but I really like this. And we're going to go from 60 to 50 now. And we're going to stay on red. Back up again. We're going to stay on red until we have 3 consecutive losses. There's 1 loss right there. So we're going to go from 50 to 60. Up a unit. And we have 1 loss on red. Let's see if we get another one here or if we get a win. Okay, that's a 12 red. So we start counting over. And we go from 60 to 50. We're still on red. And you have to lose 3 in a row to switch colors. We're currently up $30. And here we go. Okay, that's a 19 red. That's a win, so we'll go from 50 to 40, and we're up 80. So we're getting closer to that next reset point now. And we lost, so that's our first loss. So we'll go from 40 to 50. And if we lose 3 in a row, we've only have 1 loss right now, but if we lose 3 in a row, we'll switch colors. That's a 26 black, and we lost again. So we'll go from 50 to 60. And if we lose this one, that's 3 losses in a row, and we'll switch colors. But we got the win, 7 red. So we'll stay on red and start counting over. We're going to go from 60 to 50. We're up $50 right now. Let's go ahead and spin. That's a 6 black. And that's 1 loss. We'll keep track of those. We'll go to 60 now on red. Up a unit. All right, that's a win. Fantastic. So we start counting over again, and we go from 60 to 50. Back a unit, we're up $60. And if we get a win here, we'll reach our next profit goal of 100. And we did, 27 red. We've been patient, and it's paying off. And we're up $110 now. And let's go ahead and we'll still be on red, 410. All right, let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. Again, it takes 3 losses in a row to switch colors, and he says that is genius. And that's how he's making a living playing Baccarat with this same strategy. And he says it's very safe and effective. So we're going to go from 10 to 20. We have 1 loss on black. And here we go. That's a 35 black. Okay, now we have 2 losses. So we'll go from 20 to 30. And let's go ahead and spin. Here we go. That's an 8 black. Okay, 3 losses in a row. So we're going to switch to black and go to 40. So if you have 3 in a row losses, you switch colors. And we went to red. Okay, so now we're going to stay on black. We only have 1 loss. So we're going to go from 40 to 50. Let's go ahead and spin again here. And that's an 11 black. Okay, we got the win, so we start counting again on black, and we go from 50 to 40. We're up $60 right now. And it does fluctuate up and down a little bit with this, but it's a very safe system. And you want to cash out, obviously, when it cycles up. And that's a $40 win. So we go to 30 on black. And now we're back up to $100 profit again. Our next reset point will be $150 profit, $50 each. And that's a 36 red. Okay, and that's a loss at 30. So we'll go to 40. And that's our first loss. So we keep track of those. Remember, 3 in a row, and we switch. That's a 25 red. Now we've had 2 losses in a row, so we're going to go to 50 on black. And if we lose 3 in a row here, we'll switch colors. Okay, and that's a 36 red. We did lose 3 in a row. So now we'll go to 60 on red and spin. And here we go. Okay, we got that. That's a 12 red. So now we'll go to 50, and we'll stay on red until we have 3 losses in a row. All right, here we go. All right, 32 red. See, this big streak didn't hurt us because of the way that White Owl has this system. And now we're at 40. We don't have any losses yet, but now we have 1. That's a 29 black. Okay, so we're going to go from 40 to 50, and we'll stay on red. We have one loss, and it takes 3 to switch colors. All right, that's 2 losses. That's a 33 black. And now we'll go to 60 on red. And let's go ahead and spin. Let's cycle this back up. All right, we got a win on 25 red, so we don't switch colors. We stay on red, and we go from 60 to 50. And we're up $60. Let's cycle this baby back up before we cash out. All right, 21 red. That's a win. We go from 50 to 40. Okay, and we are up $110. Now our next reset point is 150 at 50 each. All right, there we go, 5 red. And when you cycle up with this system, White Owl says it's time to cash out. We're up 150, so we reset back to 10 and spin. And here we go. And that's another win, 36 red. Okay, so we're up $160 now. And we're still on red. We don't have any losses yet, but usually when I say that, it turns to the other color, and there it is. That's a 17 black. So we only have one loss. We'll go from 10 to 20. You go up a unit when you lose, back down when you win, and that's a 12 red. So we start counting over again, and we go back to 10. All right, he says that he uses $1,100 bankroll with this system. I know the first system we did today was $2,000 with a $10 unit, but so you could do this with a $110 bankroll or with dollar units, or a $1,100 bankroll with $10 units. We're up 180, and it's definitely cycling up. So we're going to play for the full 15 minutes, which is about a minute more, but this would be a good time to cash out because White Owl says to cash out when it cycles up. So we'll go to 20 on red now. We're going up a unit when we lose. And that's another loss. That's 2 losses in a row, which means if we lose the next one, 3 in a row, we switch colors. So let's go ahead and spin. And that's 3 in a row losses. So now we switch colors and we go to $40 on black. Okay, we're up 120 now. Let's go ahead and spin. All right, we got the win. And this beats the streaks, as you can see right there. So we're going to go from 40 to 30 now. Now we're on black until we have 3 losses in a row. Okay, we lost one there on 12 red. So we're going to go to 40 on black. We have 1 loss. All right, that's a win on 11 black. Fantastic, and we just ran out of time. So after 15 minutes, we won $170 with this incredible new roulette system that White Owl shared with us. Again, he said he makes a living playing with this strategy on Baccarat, but you can also use it playing roulette. And thank you, White Owl, for sharing this with the community. That's fantastic, and hopefully we'll see more systems from you in the future. Let me know in the comments. Let White Owl know what you think of this one, and if you have any questions, you can email me at roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. That's also where you send the systems in, like White Owl did. Again, that's roulettemaster.c@gmail.com. I hope you're enjoying the new strategies every single day in the search for the best roulette system out there. And if you're enjoying it, please like, share, and subscribe. And let's keep growing this great community of people that love roulette. This is the Roulette Master, and have a great day, everybody.